Hi guys, welcome back. So I've been watching people's makeup inventory numbers that they have tallied up from 2017. So I decided to jump on the bandwagon and get my numbers out there. So I went to my notebook and I kind of tallied everything up. But I have so much stuff. It's just so overwhelming, and it's just too much makeup for one person. I don't know what I've been thinking over these past couple of years of buying makeup, to where I thought that I needed so much stuff. Everything new, every new release I had to get, and it's just ridiculous. But also in 2017, I did a lot of decluttering. I did a lot of purging of makeup. I definitely sold money-wise more than I bought. So I guess that's a good thing. And I also decluttered, and thanks to panning, I got to use up a lot of my makeup. Some of it did go bad, so that did put stuff in perspective for me as far as not wanting to buy more makeup, or at least not in such huge quantities like I was doing or so often. So I have my numbers right here. Like I said, some of these, it's very overwhelming. So some of these I kind of estimated based on what I remembered using and stuff like that. So let me go over. Duos for 2017, I had 4 and I ended up with 4. So I didn't finish a single duo. And also let me say that some of these numbers are like really shameful. They're like really shameful because they either didn't go down or they just went down like 1 or 2 products, but whatever. Okay, let me just go on. Trios, I had 10 and I wound up with 8. And these, I think I decluttered. Quads, I had 11 and I got down to 8. Twins, I had 5, which is a 5-pan palettes. I had 5 and I ended up with 3. 6 shadow palettes, I had 8 and now I have 6. 8 shadow palettes, I had 2 and I still have 2. 9 shadow palettes, I had 10, I now have 7. 10 shadow palettes, I had 10 and I now have 9. 11 shadow palettes, I only have 1 palette and that is what I have right now. 12 shadow palettes, I had 15, I now have 10. 16 to 20 shadow palettes, these are the larger palettes in my collection. I had 18, now I have 14. Blushes, these blushes gave me such a headache because I had them in singles, in blushes in palettes, and in creams and all that. I decided to just do single blushes and blushes that I have depotted and blushes that I have in palettes all in the same one. So blushes in palettes and singles, I had 42, I now have 34. And cream blushes and tints, I had 12, now I have 11. Now I'm gonna move on to cream shadows, or cream cream shadow pencils. I had 24 and now I have 21. Eyeliners, I had 42 and now I have 32. Lip liners, I had 13 and now I have 3. And I think 3 is the most that I had, because I did use a lot of lip liners and I decluttered the rest because I'm just not into lip liners. They're just extra steps. I don't like them. I don't want to bother with them. So I just got rid of a lot of them. So now I only have 3, and ultimately I maybe like a clear one, but that's it. Lip balms, I had 11 and I now have 9. Lip balms are another category that I want to kind of just minimize. 1 lip balm is enough for me. I don't use them that much, so 1 is a good number for me. Lip glosses, I have a ridiculous amount of lip gloss. It's I have 37 and now I have 30. So I want to kind of work them down as well. Not that I don't like lip glosses, but I just need to just use up the ones that I have. I like lip glosses and that's just the way I am. Liquid lipsticks, I had 28 and now I have 23. Foundations and BB creams, I had 16, I now have 11. And I did use a lot of foundations up, and I also gave some to my daughter, so that brought my numbers way down. And it seemed like I had way less, but no, I still have 11 foundations, and that's a lot of foundation to go through. Face powders, I had 31 and I ended up with 25. I did use some face powders in 2017, and a lot of these powders are also like deluxe size samples. So they shouldn't be too hard to get through, and I might even end up decluttering some. So this number is expected to go down, hopefully not up. Face primers, I had 19 face primers. I think that's including deluxe size samples, and now I have 4. 4 face primers is fine with me, even one good face primer that I like. I always like to have a backup, so maybe 2. But this is a good number. I'm happy with the amount of face primers that I have. Eye primers, I had 6, and right now I still have 6. I'm almost done with one of my eye primers, so I want to get through at least one more eye primer in 2018. So let's see what happens with this. But eye primers, I just want to have one, which is just like soft ochre, the MAC paint pots, or just one of those eye primers. So 1 is my ideal number. Concealers and color correctors, I had 22 and now I'm down to 11. Mascaras, I had a lot of mascaras. I had 16 mascaras, now I have 7. So I'm good with 1 or 2 mascaras. I don't need that many. I don't use that many at a time, so 1 or 2 mascaras is fine. Z palette shadows or depotted shadows that I have. This is a ridiculous number of shadows that I also want to get through as much as I can. But I mean, let's be real, I don't know how much progress I'm going to be able to make on these in 2018, but I have 123 depotted shadows, or just single shadows, so that is a lot. Well, I'm lying. I do have more shadows in single form that are still in their little container, but these are ones that I've put in a magnetic palette. So 123 of those. ColourPop shadows, I have reduced my number of ColourPop shadows because it was just, I still had too many of them. So I started out with 14 and I now have 9, and I do want to bring that number down this year as well because I don't need that many ColourPop eyeshadows. I also have cream shadows. So for cream shadows or liquid shadows, I have 18 total. I'm sure there's a couple more in there that I miscounted or something, but I'm just going to stick to 18. I have some Bella Terra Stacks mineral eyeshadows. They're loose pigments and they're in stack form. So at the beginning of last year, I had 38 of those. 38! How freaking ridiculous is that? 38 of those. I got rid of 11, so I now have 27. So maybe in a couple of 20 years, I'll be able to work that number down with those shadows. But right now I'm at 27, so that's still a lot of pigments. Other loose pigments, I have 18 of, and I ended up with 16. So I have 16 loose pigments that are clouding my existence, and I am going to declutter some of those in 2018, so that number should be going down. I also have the Infallible eyeshadows. Those I had 9 and I still have 9. I have not worked on those. Single shadows still potted in their little container. I had 32. I still have 32. There's no hope in humanity for that number to go down anytime soon either, so I'm not even going to worry about it. Next, I have bronzers, and highlighters are the category that also stress me out, because how long does it take to go through a bronzer and a highlighter, and why do I have so many? So bronzers in palettes and loose on their own, everything all together, I have about 32. Well, I had 32. Right now I have 27. I want to use up at least one bronzer this year, but let's see if it happens. Highlighters, you guys, I had no idea. I had so many dang highlighters. I'm like, I don't have that many highlighters. I'm judging you because you're saying your numbers are so high for highlighters. I don't have that. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I have 40. I had 41 highlighters, and that includes in palettes and in loose form and in all kinds of forms. I had 41. I ended up with 36. That to me is just, considering I am not into highlighters that much, that is way too much. So I'm going to see which ones I can actually work down or declutter, or something has to be done about this because this ain't even right. Lipsticks are another category that ain't even right for me. I had 45 lipsticks and I ended up with 42, and that's like actual bullet lipsticks. just the bullet lipsticks. Brow products, I had 12 brow products. I ended up with 8. I have 8 brow products now, which is fine with me. I mean, I'll go through them. I'm not a big brow product hoarder, but they're different. Like they're like the gels, clear gel, color gel. I got the Brow Wiz when they were on sale, so I have a couple of those. All this is stuff that I'll go through with no problem. That was Miss Luna. Nail polishes, I think I had around 55 in 2017. I ended with around 50. It could be a little bit less than 50. I just didn't want to sit there and count every dang nail polish because I just don't have time for that. But I am a little bit under 50 nail polishes, which is still too much. I mean, come on. Look at that. That's still too much nail polish. It's just too much of a hassle for me to be using those. And I think I forgot to mention my liquid lipsticks. So liquid lipsticks, I had 28 and I ended up with 23, which is still a lot. I am trying, I've gotten better on using my liquid lipsticks, my lip glosses, my lip products in general. So I'm getting way better about that. And I am making a lot of progress in them too. So these numbers should really go down by the end of 2018. This year for panning, I am not taking on so many project pans. I'm going to try to, what I'm doing is I'm trying to rotate through my stuff. So I don't know how much these numbers will go down, but whatever little amount they go down, I know that whatever I've been using throughout this year is progress to get it ready to pan for next year, as opposed to just having everything brand new and without use. So these are my numbers, you guys, for my makeup inventory. I have been watching, like I said, some of you all's videos, and it's really inspirational to see those numbers go down. And I mean, we're here to support each other and keep ourselves from binge buying every single thing, and just inspire each other to use up the products that we do have. So let me know if you want to see. I know last year I did a kind of like a makeup collection video for my foundations, my blushes, and all that. Let me know if you want to see something like that. I'll do it in sections so that way it's not super long. And other than that, I am ready to go be productive, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.